Hello and welcome to the garden. Well, I am cheating again, and look what I've got. It's a pot of supermarket basil. In fact, I've got 4 pots of it, and this is wonderful stuff. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. Whatever variety it is, it's a very nice one. Wonderful leaves, great flavour, fantastic aroma, delicious. So last year I did sow some basil and the plants were a little bit slow getting going, and what I did as a sort of stopgap before those were ready to be planted out is I took some supermarket basil, divided it up into small clumps, 3 or 4 stems is fine, and I planted that out. I can't remember whether that went in the polytunnel here or in the greenhouses, but wherever, I planted some out, and later in the season I had my own basil plants ready and they went in as well. They both cropped delightfully, but this year the basil has been on my sowing list. Every time I've thought about it, it's been, yeah, I'll do that next time. I'll do it next time. And I never did it. And I suppose I could start some basil now, but I've got to be honest, I can't really be bothered. So I am going to cheat this year, and I'm just going to use this supermarket basil. Now, last season I filled both greenhouses and the polytunnel with basil, but I'm only putting it in the polytunnel this year, and that will actually give me a better crop, because with this stuff, the more you pick it, the more it's going to give you, and it will give me better basil by regular picking. I think if I've got too many plants, they don't get the regular picking that they really need to keep it in great condition. You don't want tough old, that was careless, you don't want tough old plants. You want to be picking these over quite regularly, and that way they'll crop all the way through the summer, and into autumn they will try to flower in due course. Of course, you just keep picking it all off. And the secret with basil is to just take it, not randomly hacking it down, but pinch it out just above a pair of leaves. And well, you can already see in the leaf axils here, I've got 2 new shoots coming up. So if I pinch out that one stem, I get 2 replacements. You keep doing that. Every time you pinch out one stem, you get 2 more. You do that all over this plant, it soon becomes pretty bushy and immensely productive. So I think I don't need to fill the greenhouses with it this year. I'm just putting it in here, and that way it will get regularly picked over. So I'll have lots of young growth on these rather than the larger, older leaves, and that will be ideal. It is cheating really, however, this is great stuff, and it works really well just to plant this in the greenhouse or the polytunnel. So this is cheating I kind of recommend. So let's get on with it. Right, hopefully I'll get these soaker hoses on later today, but I want to get the basil in the front here. The soil is probably a little, no, it's not too bad, it's a little bit on the dry side. So I'm just going to knock this plant out. There's a ton of root in here, as you can see, winding around the bottom. Then I'm just going to have a little look, and I want to split this into clumps. I don't know how many clumps I'll get it wherever it naturally divides. Now, this is not like teasing apart some little young seedlings that you've got. It's not going to come apart so easily, but it will break kind of naturally. But lots of these roots will snap, of course. Just take it wherever it happens to go. And then just want it in smaller clumps. That will do nicely. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 pots, so I'll space them out along this run here. That'll do nicely. And then I'm just going to plant it up just a little deeper than it was in the pot probably. There we go. Now, in a week or so, I will come through and pinch these out. I'm not going to do it now. There's enough stress and bother on the plant just setting them out like that and ripping up that root ball. But in a week's time, we'll come through and I'll pinch out any of these long stems. There are a couple of leaves down here. That will give me the new shoots, and I suppose we'll have a big bowl of pesto next week, and that will prune out all of these young plants and get them bushing out, which is what we want. The basil makes a wonderful companion with the tomatoes, not just in the kitchen, but in the garden too. It's said to put off things like whitefly, but they don't like the scent of it. Something else that makes an excellent companion, of course, are the marigolds and tagetes. So, well, I had dodgy germination once again. I had 2 varieties from last year. They were brought, the seed was bought fresh for last season, and then I had 1 new variety, and it was only the new one that germinated. So never mind, I've got lots of these plants, and I'm just going to finish off the polytunnel here. This will be the last thing I do, with a couple of marigolds at the end of the row here. Now these will probably get excessively large later on, but that doesn't matter. I can always cut them back a little bit. I had to do that last year. I don't know this variety. I'm not really an expert on the flowering plants, so I'll just have to wait and see how they do. Oh, nice little plants. They've been in their cells a little bit long, but that's because I haven't got around to planting up the greenhouse, but that'll be fine now. There's a lot of root here, more than I like to see, to be honest. I have no idea whether that's a big variety or one of the smaller sorts, but we will see. Well, that is it. I'll give those a good water. Hopefully I'll get that soaker hose working today as well, and that is going to be fantastic. I don't know, they may or may not sulk for a day or so. Probably not, because there's still plenty of root and plenty of compost in that bundle. I know some of the roots will be sort of split there, but they should be quite happy, and in a few days time they'll be perfectly happy. They'll soon get their roots down into the new soil, and yeah, a whole summer supply of basil, quick and easy. Anyway, that is all for this quick video. Thanks ever so much for watching, and bye for now.